Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Welcome to the Going to Killing City podcast, a historical look at murder in Kansas City. Here are your hosts, Jamie Green and Alex Greenwood.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Episode 4, Going to Killing City. Alex, I think we've been killing it. What do you think?
I think we've been killing it. I've been getting some really nice comments. Have you?
I've had a couple people who never listen to my music podcast ever and will never do it.
Same thing here.
Hey, this is so delightful. I'll actually listen to this, Jamie, right? So
I had a buddy he's in Indiana, and he said, I don't know anything about Kansas City, but man, this, and I don't know all the references, but I don't care because I really like it. And then I had another friend who goes, oh, I love true crime. I was always hoping you'd do true crime. And I kind of had to tell her, I was like, I'm not even a big true crime guy, but this is fun. I think you come across a really good idea here, brother.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I think the point is we're both history nerds. There's a lot of historical part around the construct of a murder, right, and strange ones. But I will say it made me laugh. So a quick shout out. So Jackie Myers, who's a fabulous musician here in town, and people have not seen Jackie and you live here in town, I put in the show notes a link to her website. She's the one that actually wrote and performed our intro and outro music, which I think is spectacular for this kind of podcast.
Really, really good.
And she's great. And then my sister from another mister, Laura Kelly Ellis, who is, of course, I perform with a bunch of stuff. She does the sultry voice at the beginning. Back to people, if you're just joining us, the construct of this show is it's a historical murder in the Kansas City metro area. It has to be 30 years or more as far as age, because we don't want to sensationalize something that just happened or hurt family members' feelings or having to process and deal with this. And the last part is it's got to be kind of a strange, odd murder. And then we give hints to each other. So Alex's hint for this episode was 1960. Diary of a Mad Housewife or Angry Housewife? Which one is it, Alex? I don't remember.
We'll just say Mad. I think it was Mad.
So I kind of dropped it right off the bat because when I think of 1960s very angry housewife, I'm all over Betty Draper. If you're a Mad Men fan, she was fucking mad a lot on that show, right?
She was indeed.
Now, Dawn made it where you could see why she was angry a lot, because Dawn was a piece of shit. I know people love John Hamm and think he's sexy and wonderful. But that character was not a good person.
No.
And Betty, the character Betty, January Jones, the great actress, beautiful. So we don't know what Dawn was doing, right? So for this, when you give me that hint, I think Betty Draper drank a vodka gimlet. So that's it. So down in the show notes, folks, if you want to hit pause and see my recipe. Now, this is very daunting for me because you're the vodka guy. I am not the vodka guy. So I'm a little nervous.
You shouldn't be nervous because it's delicious, man. This is fantastic.
I appreciate that because it's pretty simple and I won't go in it. So, but here's the interesting thing, because, the history side, did you know Gimlet was an actual admiral in the British Navy?
I did know that. Yeah.
Yeah. You would be the type of person, though. So I don't think most people know that. So for years and years and years, guys on ships would get really sick because they weren't getting enough vitamin C.
That's correct.
And that causes scurvy, which is horrible.
Right.
And this Gimlet
rickets,
that's all good. This Gimlet dude figured out, hey, if we bring some lime juice on the ships, and this will counteract this, and they won't get scurvy, and they won't get. But apparently, plain lime juice back in the 1800s tasted like shit. So to induce people to drink it, meaning sailors, he put gin in it. And it was a gin drink for a very long time, but vodka came on strong in the second half of the 20th century, and people started making vodka gimlets. So that's why I came up with vodka gimlet. And that's why they call English people limeys.
That's exactly right, 100%. And actually, the gimlet, all the sailors got a ration of gin back then anyway. Did you know that?
I did not.
And because the water quality was iffy, and it also kind of kept them happy when they were on those horrible wooden ships, and not too much gin, but enough. So yeah, adding that too, that's how you get the liming. You know what? I never bothered to look at, which is strange for me, but you hear about when somebody's gimlet-eyed. You know what I mean? You've seen that phrase, right?
Yeah, I've seen that.
He was like gimlet-eyed son of a gun. I have no idea where that etymology for that is. Now I'm going to make a note to look it up when we're done. But it's very tasty. I will tell you. You've also eluded the thing that happens to people who aren't used to making gimlets. They can be overpoweringly too sweet sometimes. You got to get that balance just right, because it's not really supposed to be like a super sweet one. But I've had a few gimlets that were so sweet, and I'm not being sexist, ladies and gentlemen, but it's like usually the ladies that I hung around with liked the gimlets really sweet, and I would drink it and I go, bleh, which could have just been their way of keeping me from bogarting their drink.
So yeah, so Alex is part of this recipe. Light on the simple syrup, heavier on the vodka and the lime juice. Now, we have an Instagram page. All 25 of you who are following us, we thank you, but we'd like to grow it. So I put some pictures of me making this, and Alex, you got me squeezing a lime. You're like got me doing work on these things because I'm so terrified you're going to say this sucks.
Oh, come on now, really?
You're the real guy. I mean, I'm a Scotch on the rocks guy. That's me.
Well, and remember, I am what's known as a pro-am bartender. I am an amateur bartender who has aspersions to be pro, but it's probably too late for me. I'm too slow and old these days. But thank you. I think you've done a fine job, as have all the drinks you've made so far in the show, right here at Going to Killing City. And I look forward to many more.
I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun, and we learn as we go along. So the floor is yours, Alex.
All right, well, tell you what, let's get started, and away we go. And the records label her an American murderer, a prison escapee, and she is the subject of one of the longest outstanding felony warrants in United States history.
Wow.
Okay. Her past is a trail of mysterious deaths, a saga that spans 2 nations and culminates with a chilling escape that leaves us with more questions than answers. Sharon Kinney's story begins in the heart of America in Independence, Missouri. As a teenager, she moved with her family to Washington State, only returned to Missouri by the time she was 15. And in the summer of 1956, when Sharon met James Kinney, a 22-year-old college student. The two became a pair, setting in motion a chain of events that could send shockwaves through their small community and beyond. So, shortly after James returned to Brigham Young University in the fall,
Mormons.
Sharon announced, well, I don't know if he was, but probably, but Sharon announced she was pregnant. This brought James back to Independence, where the two got married, with Sharon having falsely claimed to be a widow. I guess that's just to kind of, fooling no one. That's my editorial comment. In the coming years, she gave birth to their daughter, Dana, and soon James was contemplating divorce due to Sharon's spending habits and suspected infidelity. In a chilling turn, though, James's own life was cut short. On March 19th, 1960, he was found shot in the head in his bed with their 2-year-old daughter playing nearby.
Ouch.
Well, Sharon claimed their daughter, who was reportedly allowed to play with James's guns, had accidentally shot him.
Wait. The 2-year-old had carte blanche with weaponry in this house. That's what we're supposed to.
It's true. And I think that they regretted that last thing where they also let her have ammunition, but I digress. But
well, not to sideline you too much, but I mean, I guess it is Independence. And now we're going to get hate mail from our Independence people, but
yeah. And again, this kind of takes us back to our thesis too. We know these things aren't technically funny, but they are absurd, and that's why we laugh a little bit here. So anyway, I just wanted to say that I'm careful to be sensitive, that people understand we're not ghouls, and we're not fools, but we think these are things worth sharing. All right, so get this: the police Jamie, they couldn't initially dispute her story. But then, as these types of things happen, some people, they get a little bit of rope, but they get more rope. And a second death was tied to Sharon, which led to raised eyebrows and intensifying investigations. And that death was Patricia Jones, a local file clerk and wife of another of Sharon's boyfriends. Sharon had a boyfriend had found Jones's body in a secluded area on May 27th, 1960, right? This is not too long after her husband's death, right?
Not at all.
Sharon Kinney, having admitted to being the last person to speak to Jones, and the circumstantial evidence against her mounted up. So she was charged with Jones's murder and that of her husband, James. Okay, so let's just, I know this is a lot already, right? So she's only about 20 years old, by the way.
Okay.
So right abouts there. So James Kinney, her husband, was found dead on March 19th, 1960, right? The result of a gunshot wound to the head, apparently inflicted while he was asleep by his 2.5-year-old daughter, Dana, who was found next to him on the bed, holding one of his guns. Well, so despite the police failing to recover any fingerprints or gunshot residue, they concluded it was an accidental homicide due to multiple testimonies that James often allowed his daughter to play with his guns. Okay, so he was buried shortly thereafter, and Sharon collected his life insurance policy valued at about $29,000, which would be about, get this, $300,000 today.
That's a lot of money, man.
That's
especially when you're 20 years old.
You can buy a lot of vodka gimlets with that chat. I'm telling you. Okay, so meanwhile, at this time, Patricia Jones, she's like leading a fairly normal life in Missouri, working as a file clerk while her husband Walter sold cars. Well, unfortunately, their seemingly quiet life was marred by Walter's infidelity. Sharon, who had met Walter when buying a Ford Thunderbird, putting that money to good use already, was carrying on an affair with him. I don't know if it was the back seat or where, but anyway, Walter ended the affair when Sharon informed him she was pregnant with his child.
This is like Knots Landing Independence version.
It really is.
Like season 9 of Knots Landing.
Yeah, and they're recycling it yet again. But I'm telling you this, I'm seeing a pattern. So then Patricia disappeared. Now let's go. Remember this date, okay? This date was right around in May, right? May 20. Okay, so on May 26th, Patricia disappears, and Walter files a missing persons report the next day. And on investigating, Patricia's friends mentioned an unknown woman Patricia had planned to meet the day she disappeared. So Walter identified Sharon as the possible unknown woman who had last seen Patricia. Hours after this conversation, Sharon and here's a new acquaintance, John Bolditz, found Patricia's body a mile outside of Independence. Patricia had been shot 4 times with a .22 caliber pistol.
Jesus Christ.
And I don't think Dana did it because she was nowhere. So following Patricia's death, Sharon, Walter, and John Bolditz were all questioned. Sharon declined to sign a written statement or take a lie detector test, so investigators, they struggled to find the murder weapon. But all they did find was a .22 caliber rifle slug at the scene where Patricia's body was found. And that gun was assumed to have been used in Patricia's murder, could not be found. Oh, the gun that was assumed. Okay, so Sharon was arrested for Patricia's murder on May 31st. This is a very busy week for her.
Yeah.
And that was the day of Patricia's funeral. Simultaneously, the authorities also reconsidered the circumstances of James Kinney's death. Well, wow, it's so good that Chief Wiggum is on the case.
Yeah, no shit. Well, I was thinking about Maggie Simpson when she shot Mr. Burns.
Oh my God, that's so right. I didn't even think of that. Oh my God. Suggesting that Sharon might be involved. So during this time, it came to light that a man had bought a .22 caliber pistol for Sharon at her request, and it was the same type of gun that was used to murder Patricia. Well, of course, Sharon claimed that she had, I lost it. She had lost the gun. So amidst controversy over the initial autopsy of Patricia, her body was later exhumed on June 17th for further examination, right in the middle of summer. Good times. Sharon was heavily pregnant by then and denied bail at first, but was eventually freed on a $24,000 bond, which is not much less than what she got from the life insurance policy. Due to the circumstantial evidence against her, she had to put that bond up. And by January 16th of 61, she gave birth, right around the time JFK was inaugurated, I guess. She gave birth to a daughter, Marla Christine. Okay.
She get her a gun.
I don't know. That's a great question. I understand she was a bit of a pistol, but I don't know.
Oh, here we go. And now,
now
the drinks are starting to hit.
They're clicking it. Okay, so Sharon Kinney was charged for the murders of Patricia Jones and her husband James Kinney during the 60s. So she was tried separately for each crime, and her trial for Patricia's murder began in June 61. So despite the prosecution's effort to establish motive and means, the jury cited too many inconsistencies in the prosecution's case and acquitted her. Thanks, Perry Mason. She was then tried for James's murder in January 62, and the prosecution argued that Sharon was motivated, get this, by a potential insurance payout and had attempted to hire someone for his murder. However, the defense emphasized the circumstantial nature of the prosecution's evidence and questioned the reliability of the key witnesses. So despite the defense's efforts, she was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. Okay, stay with me, folks. Her conviction was later reversed by the Missouri Supreme Court due to inadequate peremptory challenges during jury selection, leading to a second trial. So in other words, peremptory challenges are just like the defense and the prosecution, when they're interviewing potential jurors, they can just say, I don't want that one. They don't have to give a reason. They got a certain amount of peremptory, just no. And they didn't get those or enough of those. Okay, so let's go forward to the second trial. Proceedings had to be adjourned due to a conflict of interest within the jury. That's two trials down. So on her third trial, starting in June of 64, they brought new witnesses and testimonies to the fore. Sharon herself, this is an unusual move, I believe. I'm not a lawyer. You might know a lawyer who could tell you this, my friend.
Yeah.
She herself took the stand for the first time.
You're never supposed to do that.
Never. Strongly, get this, but guess what? She was strongly denying all charges. So, I mean.
Can I just say this before we go any further?
Yeah, sure.
So this is all fabulous. And what this reminds me of, this is the analogy I make. I feel like if this was the home run derby, like I hit like 8 out in the first round with the Linda Culbertson story. And now you just came up to the plate, dude, and you've hit like 33 home runs and you don't even have a single out yet. This is so crazy already. And we got a long way to go, right?
I can't believe I found this one, dude.
This is awesome.
Thank you. I thought you'd like it. Okay, so her third trial started in June of 64. They brought the new witnesses. Okay, so she took the stand for herself, strongly denying all the charges. However, the jury could not reach a unanimous verdict, resulting in a second mistrial.
Wow.
My gosh. Okay. Everybody just, by the way, refresh your drink. It gets better. So this takes us to 64, where Sharon, after posting that hefty bond, she left Missouri with an alleged new lover, Francis Samuel Pugliese. I think that's how it's spelled Pug, Liese. Is that Pugliese?
Yeah, probably. Is it sounds Hispanic? Is it Hispanic or Italian?
I don't know if it's it could be Italian. I don't know. So with her, anyway, we'll just call him Pugliese, and if anybody wants to correct me later, I accept my correction. With her legal troubles back home momentarily paused, they crossed into Mexico under the pretense of getting married. They were armed with a few guns they brought from the States.
Wow.
So one night, Sharon, citing a need for some money or medicine or some excuse, left Pugliese and found herself in the company of one Francisco Paredes Ordonez, a Mexican-born American. Now, according to Sharon, a casual encounter turned terrifying when Ordonez allegedly made unsolicited sexual advances, leading Sharon to shoot at him in self-defense. The bullets proved fatal.
Holy shit! What's the number now? How far are we up?
Is that 3?
3?
Her aim is true, and Sharon found herself implicated in what? Another homicide. This is crazy. I know you're not believing me, I'm sure, but it's true. So her version of events was doubted by local law enforcement, who believed that robbery was the real motive. Okay. So in the aftermath, Sharon was arrested and Pugliese detained, and their rooms turned up more guns and ammunition. Notably, one of the guns found was linked back to a previous crime Sharon was acquitted of back in Missouri. Pugliese was cleared of charges and deported back to the U.S., while Sharon was convicted for the murder of Ordonez and sentenced to a 13-year prison term. Later increased, it started with a 10-year sentence, so it was increased to 13 years. Crazy, man. So she got a nickname in Mexico, La Pistolera, or the gunfighter.
Yeah, well...
So she would soon become infamous, La Pistolera, for a daring escape from prison in 1969.
Get the fuck out of here.
I can't, I'm not lying. Apparently, there was some, what you might call lax oversight during roll call, and she just vanished.
This is the director's cut of Shawshank, where it's not nearly.
Oh, can we cue Morgan Freeman? We couldn't get him, folks. We wanted to. It's just too expensive. Okay, so there's this massive woman hunt, initially focused in northern Mexico, and later expanding to involve U.S. authorities. And bupkis came up cold. Nothing.
Wow.
So various theories about her escape just flooded the news media. Oh, she bribed guards. They had accomplices from the outside. Even maybe a daring disguise, I don't know. Maybe she built a raft and jumped. Oh, wait, no, that's Papillon. Never mind. Yet the truth remained elusive. Okay, so her status is a mystery, but their repercussions were felt back in Missouri, as Sharon's fourth trial for the murder of her husband was scheduled during her incarceration in Mexico. Her bond was revoked, leading to legal wrangling between the court and the United Bond Insurance Company who posted her bond. Anyway, so they were all fighting. They were fighting all over the table scraps, but she was gone. She was in the wind.
That's just
right.
Nuts.
Yeah,
and she still is to this day.
Sharon has now at a 57 years old warrant, she still stands as making it the oldest outstanding murder warrant known to exist in the Kansas City area.
Wow.
Her status in the Mexican system, you got to hear this, remains outstanding as well, though authorities have pointed out that at the time of her escape, jailbreak was not a crime under Mexican law. Sorry, my watch was chiming in. Siri couldn't believe it either. I'm sorry. Okay, let me just say that again in case you want to. Sharon's status in the Mexican system remains outstanding, though authorities have pointed out that at the time of her escape, jailbreak was not a crime under Mexican law. If she were recaptured there, Jamie, she would only have to serve out the remainder of her outstanding sentence.
How old would she be?
She would be right now 83 years old.
Wow. So she could totally still be alive. I mean, my mom's 91. She's still driving.
Exactly.
Doing everything.
Well, James Hayes, he's an author and investigator into the case, theorizes that her journey, just looking back on her makeup, began out of financial greed. She wanted to profit from the life insurance policy. But he also suggests, and it's been corroborated by other experts, that first act of violence that she developed a perverse enjoyment from killing.
Yikes.
And former FBI profiler Candace DeLong characterizes her as a sociopath, devoid of remorse or empathy. Oh, I believe that.
Totally.
A dangerous personality that allowed her to murder without guilt to achieve her objectives. So a lot of people believe that. But Jamie, this is interesting, though. Even those convinced of her guilt found her to be somewhat charming, which is a sociopathic.
Sure.
Most sociopaths are very charming.
How many women went to Ted Bundy's murder trial and wrote him love letters? It's nuts.
It's so weird. Well, some of them described her as rather attractive and even admitted to liking her. And the Mammoth Book of True Crime denotes her as somewhat unique figure in the criminal world, a quote pretty unquote criminal, which is hilarious. Plenty of people think she's still living. She's still out there. There's been lots of stuff that's been based on, probably partially based like in fiction on this woman. But she was featured on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. Sorry, Unsolved. I always call it Unloved Mysteries. And she was in the ID series, A Crime to Remember. You can Google her. I don't know. I don't have any links, but I can go dig them up if Jamie wants to put them in the show notes.
I will put those in the show notes.
So Sharon Kinney, convicted murderer and prison escapee, remains at large, her ultimate fate unknown. Her story leaves us with more questions than answers. Talk about your diary of a angry, desperate housewife.
Shit, she makes Betty Draper look like a Pollyanna.
She really does.
So it's a lot to unpack here. So she had kids, correct?
Mm-hmm,
well, we know the toddler who apparently loves weaponry and had kids later.
Yeah.
This is where you think DNA might catch her, because if she doesn't have to do the DNA test. Any family, that's how they caught the guy out in California. They've caught a lot. I have a first cousin that we never knew about, Alex, because she didn't do the DNA. Her son did. And they're like, why are we related to all these people from Nebraska? They had no idea.
Oh my goodness.
So you would think with that, but maybe She's down in Mexico laying low.
I have no reason to believe that there's anything different than that. And she's probably done what sociopaths do. She's just continued to manipulate. Probably, and I would assume, if this is true, I would assume she's probably killed other people, but she's just managed to get away with it.
Well, it's Mexico.
It's Mexico, where, you know what? Seriously though, if it was a choice between, if say she got caught down there, if it's a choice between being extradited to the U.S., which I know there's an extradition treaty, I think I would tell my attorney to solve or sue to make sure I had to serve out my sentence down there first. Then again, I don't know. I hear Mexican prisons aren't that great, so I don't know.
Supposed to be horrible, but
yeah,
you apparently can escape with nothing wrong. Doing it.
You know, and who knows that she didn't? I mean, you know, if I were putting on my screenwriter or mystery writer hat, I mean, I'd probably have her kind of semi-seducing a guard and. You know, I mean, you know, come on now. She was nice looking. I'll send you a picture. You can put it up if you want. I'm not saying she was like gorgeous, but she's an attractive woman in the picture, even in her mugshot.
Really?
I think so.
So this has never been made. You said it's been on like what the Unsolved Mysteries. Has it been? This seems like this is a movie just waiting to happen.
I think there might have been some thoughts behind it, but I didn't see anything that expressly says it. At least in my research, I didn't find anything that was directly tied to a film about her. But you're totally right. And if there's not anything, who knows? Maybe somebody will try and. I think she should be. I think she's just too juicy and not use. But man, I don't know. What do you think? So you think she's probably just based on what you just heard, probably still in Mexico or.
Well, yeah, I would think she'd be somewhere there where it's a lot easier to disappear. But I mean, this is. So can I tell a crazy side story?
Yeah, please.
So, but just to, and the context of this is where people can disappear. Because you always are like, how do people disappear, right? Like that's kind of thing. So years ago, when I worked on the a campaign in Arizona, and way back in 1998, it was called Arizona's for Clean Elections. We tried to make it so people didn't have to spend a fortune to run for office and make it more fair. It actually passed, but eventually our fabulous United States Supreme Court struck it down. But, you know, I'm not bitter, not at all. Anyway, the guy that worked on the campaign was this guy named Gary Treadway, and he was the campaign treasurer. Okay. So this is 98. And campaign ends, wins, he goes away. He runs for Scottsdale City Council like the next spring. Scottsdale, this is back when newspapers, right, Alex, when they would actually vet candidates because they had staffs and time and stuff. So the Arizona Republic starts digging into this guy that's running for city council, and some of the things he tells them don't add up. Like where he said he went to school, they have no record of him. So when they start questioning him, he freaks out. He says he has cancer and he has to withdraw from the race, which of course is like shooting up, you know, we had fireworks last night. Talk about shooting up to a reporter, a good reporter. Like, oh, no, I've got cancer. I'm dropping out. You know, that's right. Turns out his real name was Howard Mechanic. He was at WashU in St. Louis during the anti-war protests. He threw a cherry bomb at federal agents. This is when Nixon was in office, and Nixon wasn't playing with people that were protesters, especially. He got sentenced to a long time in jail, and he disappeared. So from, let's say, 70. So from 1970 to 1998, 28 years, he was on lamp. But he was so stupid, he decided to run for office. Now, one of my friends could not stand him, did not like working with him and stuff. So she was actually kind of thrilled that he was going to jail.
Nice.
But here's the funny thing. So the last day of so he's in prison. He's down in Tucson. Like he's serving his time, trying to get out. Wow.
Really?
So the last day of Bill Clinton's administration, everybody remembers, what was the financier guy, Mark, whatever his name was?
Yeah.
I can't think of.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about, though. Yeah.
That got all the press play. That's what everybody talked about. But on that list, if you look at it, Howard Mechanic / Gary Treadway was pardoned by Bill Clinton, and he went free. But there's a case where this is a guy that I knew personally. You know, I worked on a campaign with him. I know who he was and everything like that. He was able to evade it for 28 years, and only because he was a fucking moron who decided to run for public office. The only reason he got outed. And he's very lucky. I don't know who he knew in the Clinton administration, but somebody knew somebody. Because he had a long time left to go. So,
oh my God.
So back to this, your first inclination is like, oh, she's dead, right? Or
right.
certainly stuff, but people can do it, man.
They can, but of course, also she could have finally crossed the wrong, not so stupid man who, if she tried to kill him, he might have said, "Oh, au contraire, mon frère," and killed her. That could have happened, and she could be buried out in the desert somewhere in Mexico. That's potential.
Totally.
I didn't do a lot of poking around. I didn't see a lot of roads that led to about her children where they are, because also, again, it's part of the rules of the road here. We're not here to bother people who didn't do anything. They're innocent people, and I just don't go down that road unless somebody's particularly interesting. And now the more I think about it, I'm going to think, well, maybe I can find her.
Well, you just wonder about the DNA thing. Makes you wonder.
That's why you just did that. I had not thought about that. And but also, even at 83, if she's in good shape, like your mother, you certainly don't want to cross that woman. I imagine. So I don't know,
man.
Oh my gosh!
Total murder she wrote. This is crazy.
She's probably more of a desperate housewife. But if you call her a mad housewife, it's because she's kind of crazy, I think. But I just think the real the desperate housewives have nothing on this lady, because she.
Okay,
wow.
So let's have a little fun before we go. Who do you cast to play? What was it, Sharon? Sharon Kinney?
Sharon Kinney, Kinne. I think Jennifer Lawrence would be great.
She can. She's
a little older now, but because Sharon Kinney started. Well, you could, if they do the whole story, it's probably between the ages of about 10-year span. So it starts around age 20 to 30. So she might be, but she looks young. I think she could play her. I really do. Do you have somebody in mind already, or?
Let's do January Jones. Why not?
Oh well, yeah. Well, January Jones, man.
She can do angry. We know that.
Well, that's true. That is true. True.
This is maybe my favorite. This is nuts.
I don't know if it's my favorite. I don't know. I think it's neck and neck with the aforementioned that you brought in. I think they're neck and neck.
Well, part of it is because, as we talked last time, murderers are almost always men, and if it is a female murderer, it's like she was being horribly beaten or something, and it's a protection issue. She's trying to save her kid's life. So,
right.
I mean, we've had 2 women in a row now who are stone cold killers then they're conniving. Now, the Sharon seems like she's quite a bit smarter.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not let the police department off from the 1960s. Because if somebody said, "Yeah, my toddler did," I'd be like, "Yeah, right, lady." Right? I mean, you would.
Yeah. That whole the kid had the gun, but today that would not fly at all. It would certainly fly because apparently a lot of parents allow guns to be laying around their house, but I don't think it would fly because they found no gunpowder residue on the child. I mean, you shoot a gun, you're going to have residue on yourself and on a kid, and it's too convenient. And there were no real fingerprints, even though she said Sharon said she found the baby holding the gun. I don't think so.
No, this is but it's interesting too, where people get away with something. So she's out of the. I mean, it's long before the internet or anything like that. Like, she could have been in Mexico and probably hung out and never had any problems.
Right.
But the fact she killed, it kind of reminds me of OJ. Like, OJ, luckiest bastard on the planet. He gets the one jury that wants to say basically screw you, LAPD, for all the racist shit you've done for 60, 70 years, and so they just let him off. And right. OJ just like, nope, just gonna double down and pull a gun on somebody. I'm like, and he finally went to prison for it.
He was looking for the real killers, I think, and
he wrote that book.
Yeah, If I Did It.
What a fucking idiot!
Oh my god, it's just the criminal mind. I'm telling you.
So when I was in Arizona State and we played USC, for people who don't know, I went to graduate school at Arizona State when I was in Arizona. Anyway, they had T-shirts when they played USC and said, "Drink apple juice," and on the back it said, "OJ will kill you."
Oh God. I can't believe I'm laughing at that, but that's pretty funny. Oh man. Man.
This was fabulous. I love this one.
Well, thank you. I did too. Sharon Kinney, wherever you are, if you're listening, Sharon, come on the show.
It's not too late to come. We'll dial in. You can dial in. We'll put you on the Zoom call. We won't know where you are. You won't be able to figure it out because you're 83 years old. We'll have to help you.
We won't call you La Pistolera to your face because I'm afraid of you.
I kind of like that. That's like, no shit. We had talked about that.
Yeah, the gunslinger or whatever she is. Yeah.
This is the first episode of a person that we had that's either not incarcerated or dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes you think a little bit, picking these going forward, doesn't it?
That could be the reason why there is not a film or book or anything about her, because people are terrified of her. That could really be
fucking terrified. I mean, she's got a kick-ass nickname.
Well, wait, so I married an axe murderer. That could have been based on her. Who knows? I don't know. They changed it to an axe murderer instead of a guy. Okay, I'm reaching. All right.
Well, this has been fabulous. So we're going to wrap up.
Yep.
I will say again for people, it's so much. It's fun to do either side. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's fun to do all the research, and like I said, you hit a home run with this one. But it's so much fun just to sit here and if people, it's a podcast, you can't see, but my mouth was open several times just to gape. This is crazy.
It was
to hear these things. So I appreciate it. You doing that. All right. So next time, or I am going to ensure that nobody's going to hear our next episode and get me in trouble with the law. Are you ready for your hint?
I am actually, and what I'm going to do, I've got it. Where's my notepad? Oh crap! Let me get my notepad because I don't always forget, but I want to make sure I get it. All right, hit me, man.
All right, next time, Edwardian Manor. Edwardian Manor. We're going way back. We're going way back into
Manor. Edwardian Manor. Okay, so I'm going to, ladies and gentlemen, this is my mission. Since I told the story this much, just a reminder to all you new folks out there, that means that Jamie's going to do the research and tell the story to me, but I have to make a drink based on this clue, which is Edwardian Manor, and I'm excited to do it.
I kind of feel like Sharon probably drank a fair amount of vodka gimlets before, she got steeled up her wheel to just start shooting people left and right. What do you think? I think it's a good drink.
I think it's a great drink. I think she probably just shook it up and made it into tequila when she went south of the border.
Is there a tequila gimlet?
There can be, sure. Tequila. Seriously, no joke, real quick. Tequila is actually not a bad substitute for vodka, because I know a lot of people are like just bored with vodka because it's a boring, in a lot of ways, spirit. They do it with tequila, and I did that yesterday. I made something called a ranch water. We're recording on the 5th of July. Can I just tell real quick? It's ranch water. It's a great recipe. It's tequila, lime juice, and then it's like you can use Rose's lime juice, which is a little sweeter, and then you cut a lime up, you squeeze half that lime, you throw the rind in there, and then you have ice, and you top it with club soda. It was delicious and refreshing. Great little drink called a ranch water.
So this is kind of an iteration of a El Squirto. Have you ever heard of an El Squirto?
El Squirto, no.
El Squirto is just squirt and tequila.
Oh, squirt.
People dig it. I've seen people drink them.
Oh my God, Jamie! That's why I keep coming back to the green room.
Yeah,
and
I thanks drinks.
I'm so glad. No, stop it. Hey, and thanks again. It's good to have you here in the green shebeen. I'm glad you're back.
All right. So we're I appreciate it. We'll be back in 1 month. People down and how to make the drink, how to look at this lady's mugshot that Alex apparently finds both alluring and terrifying. How to you can email us. I'm serious, Sharon. You want to turn yourself in? I think we'd get a lot more listens if Sharon comes in on the next one and agrees to turn herself in.
We'll have to preempt the next one if she does. How do they email us? Is that?
Well, I put it down in the link, but it's Trading Force, or not Trading Force, of my other podcast. Too many fucking podcasts, Alex. killingcitypod@gmail.com. I again, that's killingcitypod@gmail.com. Too many. How is before we go, how's your podcast going? The other one,
Mysterious goings on is blown up. It's been one of the best years. Just to say, we had great interview with Hollywood legend, Oscar winner George Stevens Jr. for the second time. He was so excited when he was on in May that he asked to come back on, and he came back on. That went great. My other show, PR After Hours, is doing fine. It's on hiatus for summer. It'll be back. And then I do a monthly chat show besides yours called Chica and the Man. And it's my friend Sonia Iris Lozada, who is a poet and actress in LA. And we just get on there and BS every month for 45 minutes. So it doesn't have a structure like this. It's more just like two people who've never met chatting. That's very
fabulous.
It's a good time. I'm very busy, but this is so much fun. I'm loving this. And Trading Fours, oh my gosh. Seriously, you got some good gets lately.
Yeah, I've had Gretchen Mann, who's a phenomenal. You're like those people, they're so nice, you can't hate them, but you want to because they have everything going for. So Gretchen Mann is a phenomenal guitarist. Unbelievably nice, like super nice, and model beautiful. Like she's got everything going for her. But And she was a commercial pilot. So she actually can fly a jet too. So talk about that. If she's married, so she doesn't have to go out and put herself out there, but it's like, you're trying to meet somebody and she's like, well, I'm a guitarist. I'm a full-time musician. I'm also a commercial pilot. Like, you can't beat that. Like, that's so cool.
You can't. Cool. Yeah. That's way better than being able to say I'm La Pistolera.
La Pistolera. I did terrible Spanish. It was a terrible Spanish, dude. Did you take Spanish in high school?
No. I took German and I was terrible at that too. 9.
All right. On that ridiculous note, we will talk to you 1 month from today. Be safe, people. La Pistolera. I'll give you Alex's number. Please leave me the fuck alone. Bye, people.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.